Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. Today is Monday, April 22nd, and we want to welcome you to this week's Westchester Weekly Update. I'll be joined in a few minutes by our Deputy County Executive, Ken Jenkins, and we'll go over a number of different issues that are pending right now in Westchester County. We're going to be talking a little bit about Earth Day, which is today, going back to 1970, the original Earth Day, to today. This day has come to symbolize discussion of all of issues that relate to environmental protection. And we have three guests who are going to be with us, Sustainable Westchester and from New Rochelle High School. And we're going to invite them to come up to the podium and share a little bit about the work that they've done. We're going to cover a few other issues of some interest. This is National Crime Victims' Rights Week. We also want to share some happy and some sad news in our Westchester community. The happy news of Passover for our Jewish brothers and sisters, and the sad news is that we've lost someone in our Westchester County family, a correctional officer who was involved in a tragic accident. We're going to go over all of our different ethnic festivals that are coming up this year. They start in mid-May, but it's one of the fun things to do in Westchester County, generally all at Kensico Dam Plaza. There is one at Ridge Road Park. We'll cover that in a second while we're with you. Ken Jenkins is going to update us on the system for payment for the Beeline bus system tied into the New York City subway system, the Omni program, and we'll give you a few other little things here and there that may be of some interest to you. Let us begin first off with the fact that the New York State budget has been approved by the state legislators and by Governor Kathy Hochul. That budget covers the 2024-2025 year. It's retroactive to April 1st, and it will cover expenditures of the state through March 31st. As a former state legislator myself, I know how difficult the process is. This year was a couple of weeks late, but it did not impact the effectiveness of the state government. There was no shutdown, and the normal operations continued as they had continuing resolutions that kept them to this point where a final agreement could be made. We've invited members of both our state Senate and state Assembly delegation to join us here. Perhaps next week we'll see what their schedules permit so that they can explain in greater detail the budget, which is the subject of much discussion in local media now. We'll just highlight a few key things. When the budget was signed earlier today by the governor, it is a $237 billion budget. It includes $2.4 billion to address the ongoing migrant crisis, and there's hundreds of millions of dollars to bolster distressed hospitals. There are lots of different policy initiatives in here. We'll leave it to the state legislators to explain the context of them. There are new protections for tenants. There's a prenatal leave program for expectant mothers. There's a new program for housing tax incentives that is designed for developers, which the expectation is it will help incentivize construction of housing, including affordable housing. There's also a requirement for the landlords to justify rent increases as part of this process. In each of the different areas of public policy, there are different issues that we're dealing with. In the area of criminal justice, we're dealing with provisions to try to reduce the incidence of retail theft that is taken off as a more prominent element of our society today, very concerning. There's an effort to increase youth mental health care services and resources for those with serious mental illnesses. There's a expanded definition of hate crimes that has been structured in this budget, and some identification of work along the lines of artificial intelligence, AI, which is going to be the issue of the next decade or two. The young folks who are here will live with this for a lot longer than those of us a little bit further down the line. But there's some reference to that in the state budget. And of importance to Westchester County, we asked for a reauthorization of the school bus arm program. That's where you have a camera on the school bus arm. So when the arm opens up and shows a stop sign, you're supposed to stop. There's a camera there to catch you when you try to jump around a bus, which could be fatal to a young student that's leaving the school bus to cross the street. So all of those things are in the budget. We will, again, ask our colleagues in the state Senate and the Assembly to explain it in greater detail, hopefully next week, but even if it happens a week after that, you'll get a chance to see some of that in this venue. And all of them will be having various meetings in their respective districts to meet with residents in a variety of different town hall meetings, coffee and conversations, briefing to the local governments to sort of go over the content of this. And we welcome them back home. They've been working pretty much nonstop the last couple of weeks, and so they're going to have the opportunity to get a little bit of home cooking and perhaps relax a little bit as they continue their job. So we look forward to greater detail on the New York State budget, but it has been approved and is now in effect in the state of New York for the 2024-2025 year. Today, Monday the 22nd, we want to extend to all of our Jewish brothers and sisters who observe the holiday of Passover here in Westchester County, a very holy and a very contemplative time. Passover is renewal, and it's also a celebration of the season. It is a time for family to gather around the Seder table, tonight being the first night of Passover, a very family-oriented situation, and we join all of our Jewish brothers and sisters in the hope that this Passover brings peace and brings joy and blessings to all who celebrate. Hag Sameach is the way to say it. I hope I've said it right, but we extend that to our brothers and sisters. And we do that for all of our ethnic groups as we celebrated the end of Ramadan earlier this month and the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, also to our Christian brothers and sisters who began the month with the celebration of Easter. And a little later on today, we're going to have a little ceremony to honor those from the Sikh religion, and we'll have that publicized on our social media as well. We try to show the vast mosaic of Westchester County and the connective. We know that there are all sorts of issues out there in the world, in the larger world, but here in Westchester County, we seek a county in which we respect each other, regardless of our demographics. We work together as brothers and sisters. And when we talk about the ethnic celebrations that are coming up in a few minutes, we'll show that this is an effort for us to try to celebrate the culture of every single group that makes up this great Westchester mosaic. And but for today, we wish a happy Passover to our Jewish brothers and sisters. We have to share some very sad news at the same time, and that is we've lost one of our Westchester County Correction officers over the weekend in a tragic motorcycle accident. Correction Officer Eleanor Biratella, age 40, was involved in a deadly motorcycle accident on the Bronx River Parkway. Eleanor joined the Department of Corrections in October of 2021. She embraced all of the challenges that are implicit in a job like that, very difficult job, and in working in the jail environment. She was an exceptional corrections officer, respected by her colleagues and the individuals who we have responsibility for, and certainly loved by members of her family. We grieve her passage, and we hope everyone will take just a moment of silence to remember Eleanor Biratella. And again, we extend our heartfelt sympathy to her family and friends, and also to all that are in the family of the Department of Corrections, who really are a family, not just a department, in the closeness that they work together to do all of the different things. As we move forward, I'm going to invite Ken Jenkins to join me up here now. We're going to talk a little bit about the National Crimes Victims' Rights Week, which is being identified this week. And whenever we have these weeks or these days, the mission behind them is not necessarily to celebrate, but to highlight for all of us the importance of these issues. So, Ken, please share us.
Thanks, George. Hosted by the Victim Services Unit of the Probation Department, representatives from different community agencies and the Probation Department will hold a series of presentations on April 24th. These sessions will cover the services offered and the collaborative efforts in assisting victims and their survivors. Another way to participate in National Crime Victims' Rights Week is by donating essential toiletries and other items for victims and survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and human trafficking. Those donations could be made to any member of the Victim Services Unit, and a donation box is going to be placed on the 7th floor of the Westchester County Courthouse between April 22nd, today, and April 26th. Just a reminder, the month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and April 24th specifically is National Denim Day to bring awareness to sexual violence. Probation staff members will stand in solidarity with sexual assault victims and survivors by wearing jeans on April 24th. Back to you, George.
We're going to move now to the celebration today of Earth Day. April 22nd, 1970. I've told this story a few times. I won't tell it again. I was a senior in high school. Ken was a lot younger than me, so he might have been on a bicycle somewhere enjoying himself. But senior year of high school, we had the first Earth Day, and we weren't really aware as students what this was meant to be. But it has become a day to recognize our efforts to deal with the environment. And now that we have a much greater understanding of the potential of climate change and what that means for our society, it's not merely just what we did that day, which was clean up one of our fields at the Mount Vernon High School complex. But now we have to try to do a host of different things to really help us move forward as a country with all of these issues. I'm going to ask Peter McCart to join me here at the podium. And also we have some guests who are with us here from Sustainable Westchester. Lauren Broyce is with us, Carmen Glenn, who's a New Rochelle High School teacher, and Kiera Gordon, who's a student at New Rochelle High School Green Club co-president. And so we're happy to have all of them here to discuss some of the programs that we have, what's happened in New Rochelle, also our Grid Rewards program. So, Peter, we'll start with you and then pass the baton on to Lauren and everybody else.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. So happy Earth Day and month. What a gorgeous day for photovoltaic energy systems. If you haven't got solar, you should. I haven't spent a dime on electricity in 5 years, and you can't beat that. If you can't put panels on your roof for any reason, there's lots of reasons why you can't. Trees, you're in an apartment or whatever. Look into subscribing to community solar. And one of the ways to look into it is through Sustainable Westchester. It has a nice page dedicated to community solar. Also, please consider buying or leasing an electric or plug-in electric hybrid vehicle. There's so many more models on the market, and they're coming in at a much better price. I recommend it highly. And charging is popping up everywhere. Super fast charging on the interstates is coming into place, and nearly 1,000 chargers are being installed over the next 2 years here in Westchester County. And that's amazing. Either on our own properties, like our parks and some of our parking lots, but also in the municipalities through a grant program we have just initiated starting this year. But I'm here to talk more about recycling and minimizing any waste that we send to our waste-to-energy facility, and we all want to do that, I'm sure. Westchester County's Department of Environmental Facilities does an amazing job with recycling, leading the state on rates and new initiatives. They will be conducting a Household Recycling Day event on Saturday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Sprainbridge Park, 149 Jackson Avenue in Yonkers. The upcoming HRD event, Household Recovery Day event, Recycling Day, Yonkers will be the second HRD event of 2024 and gives residents across the county an opportunity to conveniently and safely dispose of their household waste. In addition to properly labeled household chemicals, tires, scrap metal, electronics, appliances, and other special waste found in typical households, residents can bring documents for shredding and expired or unwanted medications for disposal to the HRD at the event. Residents should place the items in their trunk or back seat and remain in their vehicles while staff unload the vehicles in the drop-off area. There's a lot of traffic and they get busy, and it's best to just stay in your car. Generally, the following items are accepted for safe disposal or recycling: properly labeled household chemicals, such as household cleaning products, most automotive fluids, but not motor oil. Flammable liquids, kerosene, butane, lighter fluid, turpentine, metal, jewelry, furniture polishes and waxes, wood preservatives, fertilizers, pesticides, photographic and swimming pool chemicals, batteries, but only vehicle rechargeable or button cell batteries, textiles of all sorts, footwear, clothing, linen, leather, small area rugs and handbags, latex and oil-based paint with the labels visible, wood stains, there's a lot here, I'm almost done, fluorescent light bulbs and CFLs, fire extinguishers, mercury-containing devices such as thermometers and thermostats, electric waste, also known as e-waste, as you know, TVs, computers, monitors, and towers, expired or unwanted medications, both over-the-counter and prescription, personal documents for shredding. It's limited to 4 of those large file-size boxes per household, and tires with or without rims, which I thought was interesting, but only up to a limit of 4 per household. Items that will not be accepted and should not be brought to the Household Recycling Day include non-rechargeable alkaline batteries, motor oil, smoke detectors, cell phones, explosives, those are flares, fireworks, ammunition, construction debris, and hypodermic needles. Also, waste from businesses schools or other institutions will not be accepted. This is strictly for residents. It's in the name. For more information or what to bring to this event, go to westchestergov.com recycling /recycling. To avoid waiting in line, you can dispose of your hard to get rid of household waste by making a convenient appointment for the county's household material recovery facility, commonly known as HMRF, at across the street from the jail, 15 Woods Road in Valhalla. The HMRF is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 3 p.m. By appointment, and accepts the same items that I just mentioned. Do you want me to go over those again? No. At the HRD events, for most information about the HMRF or to make an appointment, go to the website that I just mentioned, westchestergov.com /recycling, or call 813-5425. I hope everybody has a very green day. And I will pass it over to you, Laura. You're going to start us off here. Thank you, Lauren Broyce from Sustainable Westchester. I've loved working with you over the years, and I look forward to it in the future. Thank you, Laura.
Peter. Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Broyce. I'm the director of the Energy Smart Homes program here at Sustainable Westchester. And Sustainable Westchester is a municipally led nonprofit that delivers climate solutions to the governments, businesses, organizations, and people of Westchester County. Through its programming, partnership, and advocacy, Sustainable Westchester has been at the forefront of regional and statewide efforts to achieve a clean energy transition. So we're really excited to be here today recognizing Earth Day. 54 years ago, the first Earth Day celebration dedicated environmental protection and environmental conservation. So in Westchester County, we're really lucky that Earth Day events are continuing all month long. Sustainable Westchester has a calendar of Earth Month events that you can check out on our website. There's over 70 events that have been organized by local sustainability groups, volunteers, and other partners. You can find the calendar. It includes eco-friendly festivals, nature walks, family-friendly activities, repair cafes, neighborhood cleanups, and more. This past weekend, we were at so many amazing Earth Day celebrations, and the fun will continue for the rest of the month into May. There's still 36 events left for you to check out, so head over to the Sustainable Westchester website. The URL sustainablewestchester.org/earthday2024 has all the event details, listings, and information that you might need. So just wanted to have a little plug for that. And I think Earth Day can also remind us that positive environmental change is not only possible, but extremely rewarding. So we're here today to share an example of a sustainability success story and also tell people about a program that can help you to get paid to reduce pollution over the summertime. And that program is called Grid Rewards. So Grid Rewards is a demand response program that's part of the Con Edison Smart Usage Rewards offering, and it empowers Westchester residents, businesses, municipalities, and schools to earn cash back for reducing harmful emissions. How? Well, through simple behavior change like cooling our buildings in advance of the hottest summertime days or running large appliances at night. We're putting less stress on the energy grid during peak demand usage. So Grid Rewards will not only notify customers and businesses as these peak demand events are approaching, we also together will be able to collectively reduce our need for the utility to rely on heavily polluting peaker power plants. And this is a good thing. We can improve our air quality by avoiding the usage of peaker power plants. So people can get paid for this reduction. Families that participate in the program make $100 annually, around $100 annually, and businesses can make tens of thousands, and soon you'll hear how the New Rochelle School District also is making tens of thousands of dollars from this program. So the last thing I'll mention is Sustainable Westchester is running the Crush Carbon Initiative right now, partnering with local high schools. Folks can sign up for Grid Rewards. We encourage you to sign up by the end of this month and use the referral code Crush Carbon to get an extra $10 to yourself and an extra $10 to your local participating school district's sustainability club. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. And next up, we're going to hear from Carmen Glenn. Okay, thanks, Carmen.
Good afternoon. My name is Carmen Glenn, and I've been teaching environmental science at New Rochelle High School since 2002. I'm also the Green Club advisor and an active member of the Green Schools Committee. The Green Schools Committee was formed in 2021 when a group of concerned students went to the superintendent. The Green Schools Committee consists of central office administration, administration from buildings, teachers, parents, and community organizations. And as Lauren Boyce from Sustainable Westchester mentioned, one of our initiatives this year has been led by our Director of Facilities, Mr. Keith Watkins, who last year signed up 5 of our school buildings for the Grid Rewards program over the summer and earned our school district a rebate of over $23,000. As a result of that inspiration, the Green Club decided to participate in our own Grid Rewards program, and we have been getting the word out. We have our own referral code and our Green Club, and we've been promoting this with students, staff, community organizations, etc. The Grid Rewards program aligns with the mission of the Green Club, which is to promote environmental justice, to reduce urban air pollution, fight climate change, and make electricity more affordable. I'm really grateful to the partnership that we've been able to establish with Sustainable Westchester. And now I want to introduce one of my student leaders, Kiara Gordon.
Good afternoon. My name is Kiara Gordon, and I am a senior at New Rochelle High School. I will be attending Spelman College in the fall as an environmental science major. As of right now, I am a co-president of New Rochelle High School's Green Club, and I'm also a student representative on the Ecology and Natural Resources Advisory Committee in the City of New Rochelle. On this beautiful Earth Day, I'm delighted to speak about the Grid Rewards initiative. Our Green Club has been promoting the Grid Rewards mobile app in which people can connect their utility account, and once signed up with their energy provider, login details, they can track their electricity and gas usage over time. Users are notified of the best and worst times to use energy within their households based on peak energy demand times. As a result of powering down at these times, users get an annual rebate on their electric bill. The Grid Rewards app is open to both residents and businesses who have Con Edison accounts. Advocating for this initiative, I and the rest of our Green Club board hope to increase awareness of energy usage, educating others about how they can personally benefit from decreased electricity use. We can provide a way for people to save money while also having a positive effect on the planet. This is the first step in the direction of increased sustainability and environmental awareness on a community-wide scale. Within the Green Club, we don't want to stop there. Just this past week, we held our second pop-up thrift shop in which we collected used clothes, specifically formal wear, and organized a shop in which students could get free clothes secondhand right before prom. We hope to encourage students to choose secondhand shopping instead of being drawn into the system of fast fashion that has such a detrimental effect on our environment. This, among other initiatives, is how our Green Club, led by our teacher advisor, Ms. Carmen Glenn, hopes to have a positive effect on our community and pave the way for a brighter future for our city and our earth.
Please go over there, we're on camera. It's a side conversation. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kiara. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you very much, Carmen and Peter. Thank you all very much. Do you have any other comments, Pete, that you would like to make?
I just wanted to say that we were, demand response. I would like to mention that we're doing the same thing here at Westchester County on a very large scale, because we have a very large electric bill, and it's a great program to be a part of. Thank you, George.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Yeah. Thank you, Peter McCart. And demand response is a method by which Westchester County reduces the amount of demand that we use of electricity at nights of highest peak requirement. When we are able to divert off of the grid through our own resources by what we shut down and how we generate electricity, we receive financial payment for that. It saves the utility money, and it gets money for the county government. So thank you for that, Peter, and we appreciate it. And thank you again, our friends from New Rochelle and from Sustainable Westchester. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. I want to mention also in the same basic area that Household Recycling Day is coming up at Sprainbridge Park in Yonkers. The specific information on that is Saturday, April 27th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Sprain Ridge Park, which is 149 Jackson Avenue in Yonkers. Now, Jackson Avenue is a road that takes you basically from Greenburgh and Yonkers back and forth, so it's easily reachable. There's a Jackson Avenue exit off of the Sprain Parkway going both north and south, and it's also accessible from the Sawmill River Parkway. So while this is located in Yonkers and nearby to Greenburgh, it's accessible to any Westchester County residents. The recycling day begins at 9 a.m. and it goes to 3 p.m. And let me sort of advise you that there's a strong demand for people that are coming to get rid of household products at these days. So try to plan your day, try to get there earlier than you would expect to be there, try to plan a little bit longer time, because there is a great demand for this. This makes it easier for you to dispose of those products, but by the same token, it's one that we think helps us out, because when you dispose of those products in an environmentally appropriate way, you're not putting them in the toilet or the sink, which winds up going to our wastewater treatment plants that can't always treat some of the liquid stuff that represents a household chemical, or you put it in the garbage and it can't be handled through the process of disposal of the garbage. So you have to do it environmentally sensitive. This is the way to do it, Saturday, April 27th at Sprain Ridge Park. We also have a permanent facility located at our Valhalla campus on Woods Road, and from Tuesday to Saturday you can make an appointment to go and drop off the very same materials there. But if that's not convenient to you, something in your backyard is convenient, that's what this recycling day is. We have a number of them all over the county. I think we just had one in Yorktown just this past weekend, and we got a great turnout there, and we'll continue to have a great turnout. Next, I want Ken Jenkins to update us on an issue that relates to our Beeline bus system. Ken.
Thanks, George. Westchester County is working diligently to get the Omni system on the Beeline bus system, and working with the MTA and the City of New York to do that. And we thank all the passengers that ride the Beeline system for their patience. But until the Beeline system accepts payments via the new system, the Omni fares cannot be recognized as valid transfers on the Beeline. So there's a little bit of glitch going back and forth between New York City when you get off the MTA lines, and whether that's the subway or the buses, and jumping onto our buses where the transfers used to take place. You can't utilize the system to do that. They still have the manual paper that helps them to do that at this point in time. So if you are a Beeline passenger who regularly transfers to or from the New York City Transit buses and subways, you should continue to use your Metro card until Omni is officially introduced on the Beeline system. During this transition period, some Metro card products like the Easy Pay per ride cards are being discontinued, and if you receive a letter from the MTA indicating that your specific Metro card will no longer be accepted and you have questions, you should call 914-813-7777. That's our transportation Beeline system, or you can email the Beeline, BEELINE, at westchestercountiny.gov, and I'm sure that it's at the bottom of the screen. Back to you, George.
We try to provide a lot of different information, and we know it goes sort of all over the ballpark: transportation, environmental information. We talked about the state budget. Now let's talk about something that's more fun, and that's the ethnic festivals that we have every year here in Westchester County. These are festivals that are held at Kensico Dam Plaza, and if you haven't been to Kensico Dam Plaza, it's the equivalent of Central Park for Westchester County. It is a county-owned park at the foot of the Kensico Dam that was built in the late 1800s. It holds back the reservoir that we drink water from, and it is a wonderful, marvelous environment for people to come together. We have concerts there and a host of other activities over the course of the year. But beginning on Sunday, May 19th, it is the venue for a series of ethnic festivals, heritage festivals. We have partners with local organizations that are incorporated to provide the outreach to these different ethnic groups that are spotlighted. They run the event. They identify the food vendors with food products that are appropriate to that particular ethnicity. There's vendors there. If there's clothing or other items that you can purchase that are part of that ethnic group, there's usually a performance with dance and music that ties ties into the ethnic group, and it's just a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be your ethnicity on any particular one of these. You go, you enjoy, and you get a sense of the culture of some of our Westchester neighbors. So we'll go through which ones are coming up, and this will be played out over the course in our weekly updates of the events for that week. But the first one is on Sunday, May 19th. They're generally from 12 noon to 6 p.m. on Sundays, so there's a couple of variations, at Kensico Dam Plaza. This is our 45th annual Polish Heritage Day. All those who have heritage that dates back to Poland in Europe, this is the cultural kickoff of it. It highlights Polish-American music and dancing. You think of polkas when you think of that. There's a children's Polish school performance. There's a 2024 parade marshal, authentic Polish foods, and if anything brings us together, it's food. So by all means, whatever your ethnicity is, try the ethnic foods, and you'll love it from all these other different ones. Some of the other ones that are coming up after Sunday, May 19th, we have the Asian American Heritage Festival on Saturday, June 1st, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. at Kensico. The Albanian community has theirs on Sunday, June 2nd, the very next day, 12 to noon at Kensico Dam Plaza. You might note that we went in alphabetical order in the organization of the dates, so there can be no sense of preferentiality. The African American Heritage Program is Sunday, June 23rd, 12 to 6 at Kensico. We have the Hispanic Heritage Festival, Sunday, July 7th, from noon to 6, Kensico Dam Plaza. There's one exception in location, that's the next one. The Irish American Heritage Event, Sunday, July 14th. That's at Ridge Road Park in Hartsdale. The Italian Heritage Event comes on Sunday, July 21st at Kensico Dam Plaza. Those that would be part of the Indian American community, the country of India in South Asia, that's on Sunday, August 4th. We have one with the Jewish community on Sunday, August 18th, and we have a Muslim Heritage Day for Sunday, August 25th. All of those, noon to 6, Kensico Dam Plaza, with the exception of the Irish American one. And we hope you'll put it on your calendar and come, enjoy it. Bring your family, bring your friends, and you'll have a great time. It goes rain or shine, unless perhaps there's a hurricane or monsoon. And sometimes we get bad weather for some of those days, and that gets to be a difficulty. But by and large, if the weather is good, you'll have a wonderful time. So starting on Sunday, May 19th, with the Polish Festival. And the Bronx River Parkway is closed on Sundays for Bicycle Sunday, so that may make your logistics a little bit trickier. You have to be able to reach Kensico Dam Plaza using Route 22 or using one of the other roads. Now keep in mind, the Bronx River Parkway is closed up to the county center. It is open north of the county center, so if you're in the White Plains area, you get to White Plains by the county center, then you can use the Bronx River Parkway to go north to Kensico Dam, but you can't do it starting out in Yonkers or Eastchester. And if I've thoroughly confused you, that probably was my purpose. You be county executive for 6.5 years. You get to know the geography pretty well. But put it all down on your list, and you'll have a great time. Ken will give us the update of parks events that are happening this week.
All right, thanks, George. And Tuesday, April 23rd, and Friday, April 26th, we continue to have the mall walks, which are at the Westchester here in White Plains. So you can avoid the inclement weather and make sure you still can get your walk on in the Westchester in White Plains. So that's Tuesdays and Fridays weekly. It's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. before the stores really open in the Westchester Mall, but it's a great controlled environment. So again, as I pointed out last week, this time of the year is awful for people like me that have allergies, so you can get a chance to go inside and still do your walk in an outside kind of area with the mall in Westchester. We're going to have gardening Tuesdays up in Lasden Park and Arboretum in Katona. That's going to be from 10 until 12. So it's Gardening Tuesdays. That's going to happen every Tuesday through November 26th. You'll get a chance to enhance your gardening skills and your plant knowledge by working side by side with the gardeners at Lasden Park. Lasden Park has a beautiful, beautiful garden that they have going on. I know we're going to be up there shortly for the opening of a brand new garden up at Lasden Park. On Thursday, April 25th, from 10 to 4 p.m., the Farm Stands opening day at the Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Center, which is the county's definitely farm in Yorktown Heights. That stand will be open from Tuesdays through Sundays, and shopping at our farm stand will help you become in tune with the seasonal availability of the produce in our region. And There's a 50% discount on eligible items for those customers that pay with SNAP benefits. So again, it's going to be at the Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Center. Opening day, that's going to happen on April 25th. Thursday, April 25th, in Lasden Park and Arboretum. The Park and Read program continues. And again, it is an opportunity for children ages 3 to 6 in the main house living room in Lasden Park to discover the captivating Spring Read Aloud program. Join us every week as we bring stories to life, creating an enriching experience for children ages 3 to 6. Rosie Finizio is the lead in that program, and it's outstanding. It's also happening on May 2nd, 9th, 16th, and the 23rd. That's Thursdays up at Lasden Park and Arboretum. And finally, we have on April 26th, the International Gem and Jewelry Show at the Westchester County Center here in White Plains. That's going to be from 12 to 6 p.m., the International Gem and Jewelry Show, Friday, April 26th. Also Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sunday, April 28th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's no entry allowed after 5 p.m., after 4 p.m. on the 28th, but it is a wonderful program that happens right in our internationally famous Westchester County Center for the International Gem and Jewelry Show, just in case you might have to get some things for Mother's Day coming up soon. Back to you, George.
Every guy needs to be reminded, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. You forget, you're going to be a very sorry person. We should also point out, it's not part of the county's responsibilities directly or our programs, but most of the local farmers markets, the ones that haven't been open all winter, are now going to start to open up. There is a White Plains Farmers Market that is right here next to our county office building. That's going to open up this Wednesday for the first time for the season. And in almost every community, there's a Saturday or a Sunday farmers market. So check your local village hall, your town hall, your city hall. Find out when the farmers market in your area is open, just as we have with Hilltop Hanover and Muscoot as well. We encourage you to go out there. That's fresh produce that's coming from farms in this region, and it's just a nice thing to do. You put it on your list of chores to do. It's one of the most enjoyable chores on a Saturday or a Sunday. So, and that's coming up in almost every one of the local municipalities. We're going to close out today to highlight that last Monday, which was tax day, we were focused on taxes, but we should have been focused as well as a day that's been set aside in Major League Baseball to recognize the unique role played by Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was the first African-American player to play in Major League Baseball. That ended, or the beginning of the full ending of the segregation of Major League Baseball. And prior to that, the Negro Leagues had wonderful ball players that could not play in Major League Baseball, but Jackie Robinson was the breakthrough individual. All of the teams of Major League Baseball have retired the number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson's great contributions. And not only was he a great ball player, which he was, but he had to suffer through probably the most pointed prejudice of any individual, being the first to make that breakthrough. And he did so with tremendous grace and dignity. His widow, Rachel Robinson, is still with us at the age of 101. And that is a blessing. She's been given the gift of years, and she's here to be able to continue to remind us of Jackie's great role during his time here. She was recently at the New York Mets game last week when they played the Pittsburgh Pirates. She was given flowers, of course, in recognition. It also has some meaning to me. I'm a big baseball fan, as all my friends know, although I'm following the Knicks and the Rangers right now in between the various stops that we have to do. They're both leading 1-0. Let's hope that continues. But Mount Vernon is an interesting hometown for me. We've had many great basketball players, but it was the city that Ralph Branca lived in for many, many years. Ralph Branca, the Dodger pitcher, who threw the shot that was heard around the world by Bobby Thompson back in 1951. That was before either of us were born. Ken didn't think that. It was just him that wasn't born. Neither of us knew that. But Ralph Branca was a great pitcher. He was a great pitcher. He was known, unfortunately, for that one pitch, which is unfortunate. And in the very house that he lived in, he sold it to the Singleton family. And the Singleton family included amongst the children Ken Singleton, who went on to have a Major League Baseball career. 2 Major League Baseball players, same house in one city. And you could look far and wide to find anybody who's played any Major League sport in any of these communities. Ken Singleton, baseball player for the Montreal Expos. He played for the Mets, I think the Orioles, and a couple of other teams. And his younger brother, Fred, was a high school classmate of mine, a great track performer in his day at the Penn Relays, and then he became athletic director here at the White Plains School District before retirement. So it's an interesting interesting little tie-in to those great days of baseball. So to Rachel Robinson and to Jackie Robinson, we send our salute as part of America's national pastime, and a major thing that happened all those years ago that we still benefit from today. I'm George Latimer. Thanks for watching. We hope some of this information was of interest to you. We'll be back again next week, give you whatever else the updated information is. Hopefully we'll have members of the state legislature with us to talk in greater detail about the state budget, and certainly you'll have a chance to enjoy all of these different things we've talked about. And between now and when we speak to you next, bring your recyclables to the Sprain Park on Jackson Avenue. Clean out the basement. That's what your spouse wants you to do. Have a great week. Be safe.